The desert sky above Qatar was still dark when the sirens began. Across the sprawling expanse of Al Udeid Air Base, the largest American military installation in the entire Middle East, warning klaxons split the pre-dawn air and personnel scrambled for hardened shelters. On the flight line, more than 100 aircraft sat loaded and alert. Somewhere overhead, radar operators tracked the incoming trajectories. The Patriot batteries came online. And then, despite all of it, the impact shook the earth. An Iranian ballistic missile had pierced the most sophisticated air defense network in the world and struck the nerve center of American military power in the Gulf. Qatar's defense ministry confirmed it in a late-night statement. One of 2 ballistic missiles launched from Iranian territory had slipped past the base's air defense systems. The other was intercepted. The one that was not tore through a base housing nearly 11,000 American service members and over 100 military aircraft, including strategic bombers, airborne refueling tankers, and surveillance platforms. A base so central to American force projection that its loss, even partial, would send tremors across the entire architecture of U.S. military operations from Iraq to Afghanistan and everything in between. This was not simply a missile strike. It was Iran's most direct and consequential attack on the beating heart of American military power in the Middle East since the war began. According to Iranian state media and statements from senior Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps officials, the strike on Al Udeid Air Base was a deliberate, calculated act of retaliation for the joint American and Israeli air campaign launched against Iranian soil on February 28, 2026, a campaign that, according to Tehran, killed Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, decimated the top command of the IRGC, and targeted civilian infrastructure across multiple Iranian cities. Iranian military spokesman claimed the strike on Al Udeid was part of a coordinated, multi-front retaliatory operation involving hundreds of ballistic missiles and armed drones launched simultaneously against American military positions across Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, and Turkey. Iranian officials stated that the Al Udeid strike specifically targeted CENTCOM's Forward Operational Command infrastructure, the systems used to coordinate American air campaigns into Iranian territory. Iranian state television broadcast footage of launch sequences, framing the operation as proof that the Islamic Republic retained the will and the capability to impose costs on the United States regardless of the losses Tehran had absorbed. IRGC commanders declared publicly that no American base in the region was beyond reach. Iranian officials characterized the broader missile campaign not as escalation, but as the exercise of sovereign self-defense in the face of what they called an act of war and aggression against the Iranian nation. Symbolically, striking Al Udeid carried enormous weight. It was the one target that Washington had always treated as a red line. But the story quickly became far more complicated. Before we break down what the missile strike on Al Udeid actually destroyed and what it means for the American military's ability to continue operations in this conflict, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest dramatic developments shaping global geopolitics. According to Qatar's defense ministry, while one Iranian ballistic missile did strike Al Udeid Air Base, it caused no casualties. Qatari authorities were careful to note that the interception of the second missile demonstrated the effectiveness of layered air defense. U.S. military officials have not yet released a full damage assessment, but an analysis of satellite imagery conducted by the New York Times found that satellite dishes, communications radomes, radar systems, and buildings used for electronic command infrastructure were among the assets damaged across multiple bases, not only at Al Udeid, but at bases in Bahrain, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates as well. According to that analysis, Iran's strikes appeared specifically calibrated to degrade American communication and coordination capabilities, rather than to inflict mass casualties on personnel. How do air defense systems work in this context, and why did one missile get through? The Patriot missile defense system, which guards Al Udeid, is designed to intercept ballistic missiles in their terminal phase of flight. It is among the most capable systems of its kind, but analysts noted that its effectiveness diminishes under conditions of saturation, when multiple projectiles arrive simultaneously from different vectors, forcing the system to prioritize threats and accept calculated gaps. Iran launched hundreds of drones and ballistic missiles across an arc of 7 countries,